Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. Funding for Chautauqua Sunrise is provided in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, with offices in Jamestown and Dunkirk, helping businesses to prosper throughout Chautauqua County. From supporting people with disabilities to enjoy great lives to providing health care services that are available to anyone, the Resource Center has been improving our county for more than 60 years. Learn more about how the Resource Center makes a positive difference in people's lives.
Is getting vaccinated on your to-do list? We can help you check it off because we make getting vaccinated easy. You've got this because we've got you. To learn more, visit yougotthis.usaging.org.
From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Maybe we should rename the show Chautauqua Rainfall. Oh boy, good morning everybody. I hope you're doing well, and for those of you that are visiting the county, welcome to the Chautauqua County, and if you are regular summer residents, welcome back, and if you're a regular resident, well, you know how we do things here. So we got a very interesting show in store for you as always. We're going to be talking about services for the aging, which includes me. It took a moment a while back to realize that I was actually part of the Senior Citizen Army, and you know, you don't think about age sometimes, and then when you see the actual requirements to be old, you go, I think I'm eligible now. Anyways, I hope you're all doing well, and it is raining out, but if you've been around the area the last month or so, we certainly need the rain. We put a pond in last year, and it dropped like a foot since we had all that warm, hot, windy weather, and now it's starting to get back up again, so I'm happy, and so are the fish. I want to say good afternoon to all my listeners on WRFA 107.9, low power to the people in Jamestown. You watch us or listen to us, you don't watch us, listen to us Tuesdays at 1 o'clock, and we're so glad that we still have this working relationship with the radio station. It's been a very good friendship. And we hope that you learn something today and the kinds of things that are available here in Chautauqua County for seniors. All right, let's see, what else I got here? Hey, Justin, do you know what today is besides Saturday?
End of 10 years.
You heard. This is the end of 10 years of broadcasting.
Wow.
Yeah, today is show 518. And who would have thought that we would have done this and still going after 10 years? So today actually ends the full 10 seasons of Chautauqua Sunrise. And we plan to be back next week, so we're not going anywhere at this point. But anyways, it was amazing. And I want to just do a special thanks to Jeff Zook, my head engineer, Chris Burt, who's the director, my concierge and right arm, Justin Burt, and Randy Burt, who is my fill-in host. He's our cameraman. He answers the phone. He's like an all-purpose guy. And of course, Chuck Kelsey, who I call the godfather of the studio. We've all worked hard together for the last 10 years, and somehow or another, we come up with a show every week. So anyways, happy birthday to us, and hopefully we'll have many, many, many more, because George Burrell wants to be my 1,000th guest, and I still have 482 to go. He was my 500th guest. All right, so as we go along here, we are live right now till 10 o'clock, and if you have a comment or question, an announcement that you want to share from your community, or a happy birthday, anniversary, whatever, give us a call at 716-753-5225. And throughout the week, if you do miss the show, because we're only live right now and you can't call in after 10 o'clock, chautauquasunrise@gmail.com. You can email us and we will get your announcement on the air, as we always do. And that's what we're all about, is talking about the cool things going on here in Chautauqua County. And sometimes it's not always the cool things, but they're the important things that you should know. All right, do a shout out to all my friends over in Ukraine. Natalia and friends, I know you watch the show every week. We hope you're doing well and being safe. Take care. Let's see. Chautauqua Institution is in full swing, I guess. I know they had the Army band. I think it was the Air Force band. Air Force band. Someone told me Army. I don't know. Anyways, and the Beach Boys are coming. We saw them last year. Oh, you saw them last night? I saw, well, there we go, up to the minute report. We saw them last year in Salamanca. That was a fun show. All right, let's see. Oh, a special shout out to Jeff Zook and Galen Zook. Jeff and his brother Galen rode the Ride for Roswell. Jeff, how many years is that now? 11. His 11th year. So if you figure average of 40 miles, that's over 400 miles that you've ridden for the Ride for Roswell. So congratulations, and that was a tough ride for you guys, I would think. We talked about the weather conditions were really hot and dry, and I would have probably fallen down after about 15 miles. I just said, I'm done. I personally have done 4. What did we say? Randy said he's done, what, a dozen? Something like that? And so we have a strong commitment to Roswell here and support the work that they do. And people say, well, that's up in Buffalo. Many, many people from Chautauqua County go up to Roswell for treatment and testing and so forth. So Jeff and Galen, good job as always, and congratulations for another good ride. $5.5 million were raised, and I think Jeff told me there was 8,200 riders. Think about that. That's a lot of bodies on bicycles. But it's really fun, and it's exhilarating when you're on your bike and you look up and they say, look up at the Roswell, and they said you can't see them, but people are waving at you, and your heart just really beats fast. It's just an incredible experience to be there. So anyways, well done, guys. Okay, 4th of July is this Thursday, and right now we're keeping our fingers crossed that it's going to be dry, or if it's going to rain, that it rains before 10 o'clock. Actually before 8 o'clock in the morning. At this point, Chris Burt and company, we're planning on moderating and hosting, I guess, announcing the parade as I have in the past. I don't even know how many years it's been now. It's over 12 years, I think, I've done this. And my sidekick, Rick Mascaro, will be with me once again. Rick is very knowledgeable about cars. He helps me out there. I can take care of most of the other things, but he knows the model, the size engine, and everything. So we're looking forward to being there. And if you happen to be by, the Mayville Library will be stationed there on a trailer. Please stop by, say hi, and enjoy the weather. If it's nice, I'm sure it should be. And come out in your red, white, and blues, and you bring the kids or the grandkids, and bring chairs. I always recommend bringing a chair, and enjoy all the things that are here in Chautauqua County. That's a fun day, and I know there's going to be fireworks and everything else later on down at the park. All right. You might say, oh, gosh, it's raining. Right now in the studio, we can hear it raining on the roof. It's a flat roof here. And if you're visiting the area, folks, there is so much to do here in Chautauqua County. There's museums, there's the comedy center, there's all kinds of historical places you can go to. So don't sit around grumbling that you can't get on the water or go fishing. There's just tons and tons of things to do. And I'll be sharing some of the things here in a minute in our announcements. So let me just see if I've covered everything I want to cover. I think so. So let me get right to our community announcements. And here we go. Jeff, ready? Here we go. Slide 15. We got Dunkirk, 4th of July celebration. The 4-day 4th of July celebration with live music, food, and refreshments. Vendors and annual fireworks display kicks off on July 3rd at the waterfront in Dunkirk through July 6th, 4 days. On Wednesday, July 3, music will be provided by 10 Cent Howl at 5 p.m., followed by 2 for Flinching at 7:15 in Memorial Park. There's going to be vendors there till 5 p.m. On Thursday, the 4th of July, vendors start at 11 a.m. with entertainment by Party McFly at 2, Furious George at 4:30, and Nerds Gone Wild at 7 p.m. I heard that pretty crazy. In Memorial Park, back to the 80s night. The night concludes with the playing of the national anthem, followed by Starfire Corporation fireworks, the largest fireworks display in Chautauqua County. In case of inclement weather, the fireworks will be rescheduled to the following evening, July 5. A special thanks to the community and business donors who have donated, and donations are still needed and being accepted to help defray the cost of the annual fireworks show so that this tradition can continue. And the same goes when we're in Mayville. They'll go around collecting money for the fireworks and so forth, because it's pretty pricey. The Dunkirk Pier will be closed on July 3 in the morning for fireworks setup through the morning of July 5. On July 4, Central Avenue from Lakeshore Drive to the end of the pier will be closed in the early afternoon. So this is good information in case you're going to be in the area. The Chadwick Bay Marina Boat Launch will be closed from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. that day, and no boat mooring will be allowed in the harbor front proximity for fireworks safety. On Friday, the Freeze, I've heard them, they're really good. 5:25 they'll be starting. And then Sean Patrick McGraw, a favorite from the area. He's been down in Nashville for years. He's a recording artist. Will be playing at 7 p.m. Music on the Pier's Hometown Night moved from the Thursday holiday in Memorial Park, sponsored by Cattaraugus County Bank. Vendors will also open at 5 p.m. And this year they're going to have doughboys and waffles and concessions and pizza and wines and all kinds of great things, and gelatis I see, and well, just lots of fun things. Here's one, Rivera Psychic Medium, Ivy Rivera Psychic Medium. So if you want to talk to Ivy, check it out. All right, moving along, let's go to slide 16. The Dunkirk High School class of 1989 will host the 10th annual Marauder Trotter 5K Run Walk on Saturday, July 6th at Wright Park. The annual race, which is open to the public, is a fundraiser for their memorial scholarship managed by the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation. Registration is available online at, runsignup.com. Race, New York, Dunkirk, Marauder, Trotter, 5K Run Walk. I'm not even sure how you do this. So the main site is runsignup, that's all one word, .com, and then you just got to kind of work your way to get to the Dunkirk site. In honor of the 10-year anniversary of Birthday Carnival with the Bounce House Carnival Game Tent, Dunk Tank, one of my least favorite things in the world. I think I was in once. Face painting and balloon twisting will take place on the city's grassy lot off Serville Street from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Tickets will be $1 for activities requiring 1 to 5 tickets per participant. All right, and proceeds from the carnival bottle pull and birthday present silent auction will be donated to the Dunkirk High School Unified Sports Program. Okay, so anyways, that's going on. Moving along. I always like to talk about the farmers market. Farmers market in Lakewood will be July 4, 11, 18, and 25. So those would be Thursdays. So that's Lakewood, and that's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and that's over on Chautauqua Avenue. And then, of course, you've got Westfield, that's Saturday mornings. You've got Jamestown City, they're on Saturday mornings as well. And there's just a variety of other ones that are going on. So why do I tell you this? Because local farmers depend on all of us to buy their produce. And besides that, how cool is that? You get the freshest type things right off the farm for your enjoyment. All right, slide 17. Join Congressman Nick Langworthy for the 50th anniversary Vietnam-era Veterans Pinning Ceremony, honoring service, valor, and sacrifice. In partnership with the United States of America Veteran War Commemoration, Congressman Langworthy is inviting all Vietnam War-era veterans in Chautauqua County to be recognized for their service and sacrifice. To be recognized at this event and receive a pin, please register at langworthy.house.gov/Vietnam. So I'm sure if you go to Congressman Langworthy's site, you probably will find it without any trouble. Guests and community supporters are also encouraged to attend and register. Hey, if you want to talk to somebody, give them a call at 547-6844. Again, 547-6844. And this is going to be held on the 1st of July, July 1st. So that's Monday, it looks like. All right. Then, let's see, where are we going next? Hang on, everybody. Okay. Then this is some interesting information. I hadn't heard this before. This is called the new 988. This is a phone number, 988, suicide prevention signage to be unveiled. So here we go. The city of Jamestown is taking steps toward addressing the issue of suicide by unveiling new signage on 3rd Street Bridge and other locations throughout the city featuring the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. These signs are a beacon of hope and support and perhaps providing crucial life-saving information at a time of need. Okay, these signs were unveiled on June 27th, and you'll see them at 3rd Street in Porter. So here's the scoop. Suicides have a profound, devastating impact on communities, and the city of Jamestown is no exception. This is a deeply personal issue for Mayor Kimberly Eklund, whose beloved nephew, Ryan Michael, tragically took his own life in 2020. We talked with Rural Minds, okay, and Jeff Witten and other folks that this is an issue. Saying that, this is her now talking, saying that I'm an advocate is an understatement. 4 years ago, she experienced firsthand the profound pain of losing a beloved family member to suicide when her nephew Ryan passed away. Even after his death, Ryan continues to inspire her to continue to be an advocate for all who are impacted by suicide, as well as spreading awareness and education, according to Mayor Eklund. All right, the 988, I keep saying that for you. Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides immediate support for those in distress, offering a direct connection to compassionate care and resources. By placing the signs throughout the city of Jamestown, they hope to remind residents that support is always available and that no one has to face their struggle alone. So you might say, well, that's for whatever or whomever. This is for all ages, folks. I don't care how old you are. There are young folks that can contemplate suicide because they're dealing with some horrible situation or something of bullying. You've got folks that are later on in life that are facing crucial financial issues, loss of a family member, a marital issue, money, whatever. And senior citizens are in the same boat, all right? So please, 988, especially in the Jamestown area. All right, finally, girls power rocket stoves. Those are kind of four words that don't seem to go together. Girls from Chautauqua Lake and Brockton Central School. This is slide 18. There they are. Okay, Chautauqua Lake and Brockton Central School Districts came together at the end of this year for a day of fun projects and career exploration through a Girls in Manufacturing event sponsored by our friends at Dream It, Do It, Western New York. During this event, the girls engaged in welding, CNC machining, and assembling of rocket stoves. With the assistance of Chautauqua Lake Central School technology students, representatives of manufacturing, and teachers, a team of girls learned about manufacturing careers, the manufacturing process, and took home their very own rocket stove. Dream It, Do It, Western New York is an initiative of the Manufacturers Association of Southern Tier, creates events like Girls in Manufacturing Day as an outreach and preparation program to build the talent pipeline in support of the manufacturing economy. We see an enormous opportunity to introduce more girls to manufacturing careers by empowering them and helping them build confidence that these traditionally male-dominated careers are a viable option for women, according to Todd Tranum, president of Dream It, Do It, Western New York, and executive director of Manufacturers Association of Southern Tier. So anyways, good for you young ladies. Congratulations. We're knocking down barriers and breaking ceilings and getting everybody into all kinds of things. And our county could stand a whole lot more folks in the trades. So we're going to take a little breather. We got a little announcement to share, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Bye now.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Okay, we're back. And my guest, who's been with me for 10 years, and before, because I know you were with Reed, and I was with Reed on the Senior Report. Welcome back, Dr. Mary Ann Spanos.
So great to be here.
Wow, and you are very Chautauqua sunrisey looking. I mean, you're
That's right. I want people to wake up.
Mary Ann, how long have you been with the office now? It's been a while.
Boy, I've been with the office 17 years.
17 years.
17 years.
So I've known you at least 13 of those anyways. I know that because... Well, because I was 3 with Reed as his sidekick, 10 here, there's 13. And then I think I would pop in every once in a while prior to that. So at least 13 of those 14 years. So anyways, but I hear you're going to change things up here a little bit soon.
Yeah, I plan on retiring at the end of the year.
Okay.
Well, November 1st is the official date.
All right.
But I've left the office in very good hands. My assistant director, Dana Corwin's been with me for 16 years, and she will be taking over at the Office for the Aging, so I'm so pleased.
Very nice. Wow.
You know, Dana and I have just worked so closely together. And I'll be around.
Yeah.
I'll still be doing things.
Yeah, you know, that's people say, no, you're not leaving. No, just call me up, you know.
I just don't need a full-time job anymore. My husband is 9 years older than I am, and he's been retired for 5 years. And we just had our 3rd grandbaby.
It's time to go visiting and
spend
some grandma time. Soak that up.
And I'm also a caregiver. I moved my mom in with me at Christmas time. She's 87 and starting to have some problems medically. So she needed somebody around all the time. She was living in a big house all by herself.
That was up in Buffalo, right?
Yeah, in Grand Island.
Oh, Grand Island. Okay, because we're both from that area originally. Yeah. So, all right, well, good for you. And
I'm excited, a little nervous. I think everybody
is.
You know, this is the longest job I've had, and you know, I'm a physical therapist by profession, and I did that for 20 years, but in a lot of different settings as I was raising my children here and needed, you know, flexibility for their lives. I wanted to be part of their lives, and so I changed, you know, my settings often. So yeah, this is 17 years in one spot but it's such terrific work, and I've met so many people and like yourself, and it's been really wonderful.
Well, and I know that you asked me to serve on the board of directors, and that's been a very nice experience for me to be still active with the board, and I've learned a lot about the services that way. So when I interview you, it's like easy peasy. Yeah. But I don't want to do that quite yet, because we'll get there. So 17 years, and I don't know how many county executives, at least about 4 anyways, I would think.
Yeah, at least 4.
So, you know, everybody has their specialties, but it seems like most of the county executives say, like, go do your job, just let me know what you're doing, you know. But, you know, I was talking with my granddaughter the other day, and she's trying to look for a career, and I said to her, do you realize that the baby boomers is the largest group of people on the face of the earth and that we're getting old. And she kind of looked at me and I said, do you know what that means? She goes, not exactly. I said, we need help. And she wants to be a helper. She wants to work with people. And I said, this area of whether it's geriatrics or working in some area of helping people, I said, it's good. It's booming. It's got to be booming.
It really is. It really is.
You know, I saw this years ago when I heard the statistics. I go like, holy cow! I hope there's enough houses and medical facilities, and I think they're still dealing with it even today.
Well, and I was telling our county executive, PJ Wendell, they have this big CHQ, Live CHQ.
Yeah.
And I said, are you recruiting older adults to come to Chautauqua? This is a great place to live.
Absolutely.
I know a lot of people who cannot afford to retire in big cities.
Right.
And they're still active, vibrant people. And this has some of the lowest housing costs in the country to live in Chautauqua County.
You know, we travel a lot, and when I talk to friends, new friends, people that I run into, and we talk about things, and I'll say, well, you know, what Germany? How much is a house in Germany? Well, they start with the land. It's like $100 a square meter. I mean, that's like a square yard is like $100. So I mean, imagine you get a half acre. I mean, right off the bat, you're like a small fortune just in land, not even the house yet, or the cost of living, or taxes, or you know. I talk about this all the time. I mean, what more do you want out of an area than Chautauqua County? Maybe some rapid transit. That's about it. Transportation is, and you know, but everybody else, I don't care where you are, dealing with same things like child care and service for elderly and things like that. But we have a lot of that in place, and it's continuing to grow.
We do, and I think that we need to work on the housing stock to make it what people want, but it's certainly less expensive to live here. I know a lot of people who have moved here after retirement because they couldn't afford to live where they were, even in other parts of New York State. Right.
Right. Well, you know, and then people say, well, the taxes are so high there. Well, the reason why taxes are so high here is, I think, now don't start calling up and bombing me here on the phone, but you got to take in consideration that maybe our taxes are a little bit more than maybe that state over there, but that state, their school systems aren't so good, or there's a separate tax on their car, or there's hidden taxes. So when you wash it all out and the cost of the land and the property, it's still a pretty darn good deal here in Chautauqua County.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah. So one of the things that I always talk about with you and your crew and the veterans, especially both groups, that more and more people are aging out, or we have people that are retiring from active duty, and they don't know about the services that are available in Chautauqua County. True or false?
It could be. That's very true.
That's very true, and that's why I have you all here all the time, as much as I can, because I think people that are listening right now may have a situation where they have a family member that is getting elderly, or is losing some skill level, or needs some personal health, hygiene, whatever it is, and we'll talk about all that. And you don't know where to go, or they're getting worn out as caregivers. You know, they need some help. So, what's the purpose of the Office for Aging Services in a nutshell?
Well, before we go to the purpose, I want to answer your question, because one of the things I'm most proud of that we have accomplished is our New York Connects, which is our Aging and Disability Resource Center.
New York Connects. That sounds familiar, Jeff. Do we have that?
When I
see that, we have it. We're always we are preloaded for that number.
When I came here, people were so frustrated. They say, I went to social services, I went to COI, I went here, I went there, and everybody told me something different. Since 2007, we started this New York Connects. I call it a helpline rather than a hotline, because we're not 24/7. But one place you can call, anybody can call, a caregiver, a child, to find out about all the programs and services that are available in Chautauqua County that you qualify for. And this doesn't just have to be an older adult. It could be a parent of a child with disabilities, a disabled adult. Really, you're looking for services to help you remain independent, and this is the place to call. And we have a database of all the services and the qualifications. So unlike calling some other kind of search engine, I mean, 211 is great, but they don't screen you for what are you eligible for. We're not going to send you to this other place if you aren't eligible for that service.
Right. So they ask questions and kind of filter you through.
Right. And the neat thing too is, you know, I am so on the staff all the time. Do not just give out a phone number. If we can make that referral, if we can prevent them from having to make another phone call, that's the goal. So if somebody calls and we find out, well, you're eligible for SNAP. Do you need some help enrolling in SNAP? We send an email to our friend, Brooke Barone, who will go and we tell them, this is the person we're going to, is it okay to give your information to Brooke? She'll call you in a few days and set up an appointment so they know exactly who's calling them and that that's the right person. It's not a scam. And so we make that referral for them and they don't have to do anything else. If it's our own programs, like we are the main funder of home delivered meals through Dunkirk Fredonia Meals on Wheels and Jamestown Meals on Wheels. They're our delivery partners. So if you're eligible for that home delivered meal, we send them an electronic referral and they pick it up and they can usually start meals the next day.
Wow.
So we try to really streamline and get rid of that frustration for people.
Okay, now, we flashed that up here on the screen for everybody to look at, but we're also on the radio right now, so let's give them that number.
So it's 716-753-4582.
So when you're on TV, you're supposed to repeat it at least 2 or 3 times. So 716-753-4582. And folks, if you're listening right now and you're saying, well, gosh, I can't remember all this. We're on YouTube. You can look up Chautauqua Sunrise, put in today's date, and you can watch the show over and over and over again and get all the information you need. How's that for value?
Yes, and you can call the Office for Aging Services. New York Connects is part of our services. So if you call the wrong number, they'll transfer you over to our specialists who really do the screening and make sure that you're connected to all the things that you need. And we don't just tell you about stuff that you're asking for. Sometimes we ask questions because people don't know what's available. They're asking for meals, but then we find out, oh, they just got out of the hospital and could you use an emergency button? Could you use an aide to come in? Could you use, you know, different things? So
you list some of these services. Are they you have to pay for these things, or how's that all? Some of these, take any service. I mean, it's probably best to take one service and talk about it.
We have some private pay services, and certainly that's an option for people. Many people call us because they can't afford a service, and so we do have state and federal money. We get over $5.5 million every year to provide in-home care. To provide really a whole bunch of things that people may need. As I said, those emergency buttons, we might help with transportation to an out-of-county or in-county doctor's appointment, home delivered meals. There are so many things, and those have, if we're bringing a service into your home, you do have to go through an assessment in order to receive those services.
All right, so people are listening right now, they're going to say, what do you mean assessment? You got to take how much I weigh and my IQ? Or what are you talking about?
No, what we're looking for is what, you know, it can't, like, I would like somebody to come clean my house.
You would.
I'm 60 years old, so I should call the Office for the Aging. They'll just come and clean for me.
Absolutely.
No, what we're trying to really do is help those people who can't do it themselves or can't afford to. So they do have to have some what we call deficits in activities of daily living. So you have to have some problem doing that task yourself. It's not that you're just lazy and want to sit on the couch. You know, and we have people, you know, from 60 years of old, and our oldest one is 104.
Really?
Lady that's 104, living with her family in her home, and we provide in-home services, mostly through our licensed home care agencies. We also have a consumer-directed program. So if you see those ads on the TV, have your relative or your granddaughter provide the care, we can do that as well.
Oh, that's that program where you don't want to hire somebody that's a total stranger, but your niece or nephew, grandchild can come in and help you out and they get paid.
Correct.
And what's that called?
It's called Consumer Direction.
Okay.
Personal Assistant Program.
That's sort of a newer program these days?
It is.
I've seen ads for it on TV.
Yeah, we've had it around quite a few years. I want to say at least 5 years. And it's growing because, as you said, we have a shortage of direct care workers, people to work with this elderly population.
Okay.
So it's getting harder and harder to staff those services. So we're looking for more people who want to work in the consumer-directed program.
That's interesting. All right. And if there's someone that's interested in that program, they just call that New York Connect?
Yeah, if somebody's interested in being a consumer-directed aide, they can call as well. We have a couple different companies that act as the fiscal intermediary, but one actually has a registry. So people looking for services and people wanting to provide those services can both register, and then the consumer will get a list of people, you know, within a mile range.
Here's a question that I'm sure people are thinking right now. What does it pay?
The exact pay, I would have to, I want to say it's like between $18 and $20 an hour.
Woo, that's not bad.
You know, and you can accept, you know, that's a nice, you know, if you're raising children and you have, you know, some time during the day when they're at school and you want to make some good money, the consumer, you know, either one, a licensed home care agency or a consumer-directed program is really a good
All right, let's keep working with this because this is of interest to me right now. So if someone's listening right now and says, gee, I could come in and do something, what would they do?
It depends on if it's level 1 service or level 2 service. So, you know, level 1 is mostly housekeeping, laundry, errand running. Maybe it's, you know, setting up for somebody, you know, cooking a meal, getting their prescriptions. Level 2 service is somebody needs hands-on care. So that would be bathing, helping somebody dress, you know.
Yeah, that's a really
helping,
personal hygiene
feeding
type thing.
them. It's, you know.
Okay.
But really, they can do either one of those levels.
All right, so let's just say right now there's some folks that says, well, you know, I have some time. It could be somebody that just graduated from high school. It could be, you know, like you said, the person that their kids are in school. Do they get any training, or how's that work?
Actually, under the consumer-directed program, it's really up to the family to train them on anything. They don't need any specialized training. They do need a background check, and they do need, which is done by the company, and they do need health care screening. You know, make sure they're not carrying TB or, you know, just a general health care screening.
Okay, this is interesting. I'm going to talk this thing up more and more as I go along.
Yeah, because we really, you know, we have people that are just waiting for assistance.
My experience has been with family members, if you will, that they don't want somebody in their house.
It's not usually the family members. It's it's usually the person who needs the care. I just went through this with my mom.
Okay, I remember very clearly saying to my dad, you know, you know, he's now gone, but I said to him, Dad, you know, we could get somebody to come in here and, you know, no, I got it. I mean, he lived to 94, and it was like, I'm starting to see cobwebs and going, Dad, I think we need it. So, you know, I'd help him out and stuff like that, obviously. But it was sort of like I could only get up there once a week, or, you know, Meals on Wheels or whatever. You know, he was very stubborn in that area. So how do you deal with that?
Well, I mean, that's what a background check is all about. So if it's not required by the program to get a background check, the local sheriff's department does a really nice check, and it's more a local. So if the person has lived in, but you have to ask for references, just like any job.
Okay.
So that's really important. But
So
I know it's hard to have somebody come in. The family can be there when they come the first few times. I just hired somebody for my mom, and she was a little worried about having somebody in the house. The other thing is, we have a lot of technology these days. We have Ring doorbells. We have Ring stick-up cams.
I do.
Put those cameras in the house, not only to check on your loved one when you have to leave them alone, but it can help prevent, any problems.
It gives them a sense of
somebody.
security as well,
Yes.
knowing that somebody. And Jeff just said to me in my earpiece was that sometimes these folks are realizing now that they're declining. They've lost control of their lives. They took the keys away from the car or whatever. Do you ever have anybody that helps counsel seniors as they're going through some of these changes?
Well, we do have, mental health counselors through Mental Hygiene and Family Services of the Chautauqua region. They do house calls, which means people who can't get out, because that's usually the problem, to go in and help with them. Also, our caregiver support person, is there for caregivers who are stressed out with their caregiving needs, often causing depression and having difficulty convincing the care receiver that they need help. The caregiver needs help taking care of them.
Oh yeah.
And that's the stress. And our whole goal at the Office for Aging Services is to keep people in their homes as long as possible. And people have to understand, though, you need those supportive services to keep you safe, to keep you healthy, to keep you out of the hospital.
I remember when I was a kid, the first thing as soon as somebody got old was like, we're going to go to the old folks home. That was the whole idea. We're going to ship grandma out and grandpa out and see ya. And that's just not the way it is anymore. Stay home, live a busy life, keep that brain active, bring services in if you can, and that sort of thing. The question I have right now is for this consumer direct, is that what you called it?
Consumer directed. We actually use a company called Consumer Directed Choices. You can look that up and
is
check.
Is there a minimum age for that?
I think you have to be 18.
18, okay. Because I was thinking of high schoolers, but
I think you have to be 18 to do that.
Pretty mature for that type thing. Okay, so you talked about in-home care. So the things that you listed that this caregiver would do is the housekeeping and things like that, or are there other kinds of things?
Housekeeping, laundry.
Okay.
Some places, do take the person to the grocery store and take the person different places. So under the consumer directed program, they could do that.
So of course, once again, people say, well, if I take them in my car, am I insured? Do I get reimbursed for the gasoline? I mean, I'm asking questions that people would ask.
They could get, usually that's a flat rate, an hourly rate. So they'd have to check with the company.
All right, so they deal with that.
But licensed home care agencies usually will not transport people.
All right.
They don't like to take on that liability.
But if I'm hearing, once again, that if a family member has got time on their hands, they could get paid to help take care of somebody in need.
Correct.
Rather than having to go through a private agency. And I'm not dissing any private agency, but we just know that it's hard to come by. It's kind of hard to find them.
Yeah, it's hard because of the regulations too on these licensed home care agencies. We've been advocating, the state really needs to look at the regulations. They just, over the years of 50 years that's probably been around, they just keep adding regulation after regulation after regulation, and they've never gone back and streamlined things for these companies. And that makes it really hard to onboard somebody and then keep them,
Okay. So consumer directed, that's the service that people could look at as an option. How about when it gets to the point where now the help in the home on some kind of a limited basis isn't enough, and now we're thinking as a family, this person maybe needs some semi-independent living circumstances, maybe in an apartment or not a nursing home, but a senior citizen.
Well, we call it enriched housing.
Oh, enriched housing. That's
enriched
a new term.
Housing.
Enriched.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that means like housing with services.
Okay.
And there are different ones around, and there's also assisted living.
Because we've lost some of those services in the county recently.
Well, we lost a big nursing home,
Yeah.
Lutheran, but they still operate enriched housing.
Okay.
They have their smart mints, they have their assisted living, and they have
Smart mints?
smart mints.
Why
You never heard of the
Why am
smart
I just
mint?
hearing these things? Smart
My
mints.
goodness. It's apartments with technology embedded in them,
Wow.
so that it can monitor people. You know, it's more passive monitoring, like if the person is going to, in and out of the bathroom frequently. They don't look at you in the bathroom, but they're like, oh my God, she went there 10 times. Maybe
Right.
she has a UTI, So there's like passive monitoring that goes on. You can get more active monitoring where the person has like a blood pressure cuff and a weight scale, and it will send information daily off to somebody to look at that, especially people with congestive heart failure.
Yeah.
They need to make sure they're not fluctuating in the amount of water that they're retaining.
Wow. Smart mints.
Smart mints, yeah.
I don't know. That's why I have you come on here. I gotta get updated, I guess. All right. So how do you make those decisions? I mean,
well, again,
you got some of these tough old people that say, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here.
Well, and that's, when we put services in, we don't just put the service. You get a case manager through the Office for the Aging.
Okay.
And they're kind of your care partner along this journey.
Okay.
They're checking in with you every 2 months. They come out at least every year, or if you've had a change in care, like if you go into the hospital and we'll come out and see you. And we're checking in with both you and your caregiver. What else do you need? What's causing you problems? And we have other services, like we work with Chautauqua Adult Day Services and Tanglewood. So if you want to
Alzheimer's.
Yeah, well, or if you just need more socialization, maybe your caregiver is working and you're home alone looking at the four walls all day. This is a nice place you can go. They have a lot of activities. They have field trips that go on around the county.
Wow.
We were just at Point Gracia yesterday.
Pretty up there.
Friday.
Yeah.
For the annual adult daycare picnic, and it was a lot of fun. We danced, we had a lot of music and pulled pork, and
nice.
It was a lot of fun.
Okay. Where was I going to go with this? So with a case manager, it's not somebody that's constantly bugging you and checking up on you. It's somebody that's helping you, working with you, and just guiding you along as you go.
Right, and the great thing about it is, say there's a problem with one of the services.
Yeah.
How can, an 88-year-old person is not going to complain about their services. But the case manager calls and says, how's it going? Oh, the aide, it's great, but the aide didn't come, like last week or the week before, and they didn't send a replacement. We're on the phone with that agency. Hey, what's going on here? Yeah, we're your advocate. We're making sure that the services that you've requested are in there. And if there's any problem, the senior doesn't have to be the heavy. We're doing that for them.
Okay, so you cover what age group?
60 and over.
60 plus. Okay.
And the average age in our home care program is about 83.
Whew, I got a ways to go. All right.
And we have over 650 people that we case manage.
Really? 650? And I'm assuming there's a lot more out there?
Yeah, those are the people that are in our home care services right now, and they have a case manager. So when I came on board, it was less than 400. So we've grown.
Well, and we said the generation that we are living in, the boomers are there. We're big. I don't want to convolute the discussion, but I think it bears some discussion in that you have a partner agency that deals with a subgroup of seniors, and that's the VA for the veterans group. And let me see if I got this right. Sometimes we're talking about a veteran that's a senior, that they should start with the VA folks first?
No, they can come to us first.
Okay.
You know, we work very closely, and now there's 2 subgroups, really.
Oh, all right, another one.
Because there's also, you know, as the Office for the Aging really helps those people who are not eligible for either the VA benefit or Medicaid. But you can come to us, get started with us, and if you are eligible, we'll kind of, you know, buoy you until you can get those services, whether it's Medicaid, because the Medicaid process can take a while, but you must apply for those services. We're not going, if you're eligible for VA or Medicaid, because that's an open entitlement. As many people as qualify get it. We have a set pot of money. So we say you must apply and get rejected, and then OFA will take over.
All right, so reason being is because I like to cover, you know, the whole gamut of services. So with the VA, those are veterans. They could talk to Greg Carlson and you, right? Either way.
Right. But
and so you kind of refer to each other back and forth?
We refer to them. But Greg's role, they don't do exactly what Office for the Aging does. They're more about getting people connected to the services that they are entitled to through the VA.
And they be services perhaps that you don't offer because the VA offers it?
Yeah, they're very similar services, the in-home care, you know, those emergency response. And also CASA at the county does some of the Medicaid clients, as well as MLTC, which is the Medicaid Managed Care Company.
So let's do alphabet soup here.
Yes.
All right, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. People that I talk to that are just turning 62 or 65 are in a total mist. They're so confused. So you can be eligible for Social Security at 62.
Correct.
And people will say, well, what do you mean 62? Because you can take early
Social
Security. That's like a pension. All right, so take that over here. Then at 65, everybody's got to basically sign up for Medicare. Well, I guess you can reject it, I guess, if you have private insurance, I suppose.
Well, my husband hasn't gone on Medicare yet because he's still covered under my insurance.
Okay, so there you go.
So
but Medicare is 65 years, you can be eligible for
Medicare, which is insurance. So Social Security is a pension.
Right, money.
Medicare is insurance.
Right. And then you get supplemental insurance to go with the Medicare, like 2 parts to it.
You can.
All right, so I'm just explaining this because people get these things always confused. And then we have Medicaid, and I can't even speak to that because all I know it's income sensitive.
Yeah, so Medicaid is also an insurance, but based on income.
Okay.
So you could have Medicare and Medicaid.
Really?
We call those dual eligibles.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So, but Medicaid is income-based. Medicare is just your 65.
65, and whatever comes with the insurance.
And usually Medicare pays about 80% of the costs, and that's why you need a supplement unless you have Medicaid. If you have Medicaid and Medicare, you're golden.
You're golden. Right.
Now, there are companies out there that will sell you a plan that's both Medicare and Medicaid together. And they say that they offer more services. They might offer more services, but they also narrow who you can go to.
Would those be one of the 500 commercials that you see in October?
Yep. And that's
From
why
October to December, every commercial has got Joe Namath or something.
And that's why it's really important for people to call our office. You know, we don't just serve the frail elderly in their home with home care. We have a lot of services generally for older adults. And one of them is the Medicare counseling program.
Okay.
And so they can call our office sooner rather than later. If you're turning 65, we have little instructions on how to sign up for Medicare. And then like 3 months before you can do it about 3 months before you turn
Right.
65 or in that window after you turn 65.
I discovered when I applied for early Social Security that I was already signed up for Medicare. It was instantly. I don't think I ever
Yes, so when
technically
you
applied for it.
that's you go into Social Security to do that, right?
Congratulations, here's your card. I want to share a quick story. Is that I had a family member a number of years ago that was getting all goofed up with this insurance thing, and I said, I'm going to be on vacation, and when I get back, I'll help you, because as a superintendent, I used to sit on the Chautauqua County Insurance Consortia, and so I kind of understood things. So meanwhile, while I'm gone, this person went ahead and bought some insurance that they thought they needed because so-and-so said this was a really good policy, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, when I got back, I said, what are you doing? I took them to the Office for the Aging, and they realized they were paying $1,000 a month on this policy they didn't need because somebody said, oh, this is a good policy, you should get it. So, folks, where I'm going with this is, first-hand experience, go to the Office for Aging Services and talk with the counselors on insurance because they'll set you straight.
Yes, and there are programs for people who are lower income that you won't realize going to a broker. Sometimes if you're low enough income, Medicaid will pay for your Part B premiums.
Ooh.
It's called Medicare Savings Program.
Is that new?
No, it's not new.
We have not talked about this.
Not new.
Evidently, I've gotten into the weeds deeper than I've ever gotten.
Yeah, well,
here.
you need to have Bridget come on to talk about Medicare savings. We also help people with EPIC, which is this New York State program
Tell Bridget to call me.
that wraps around
need to get her on
your
here.
prescription drug program. So, yeah, unfortunately, it is a maze.
Yeah.
And it's not unusual that we see people, sign up for programs that essentially they're already covered,
Right.
so you're paying out of pocket.
Because there's that fear. And I'm not trying to pick on any particular insurance company on TV.
No.
But they kind of, the way they sell it, they create a certain anxiety that you're not covered or you're not getting what you should get. And they are.
Yeah, my mom has been bombarded. We were having this conversation this last night at the dinner table with calls.
Oh gosh, yes.
About, Medicare, and I'm like, Mom, don't even talk to these people because if you call that number, you start answering the questions. You've just given them permission. You've given them permission to market to you.
So you got to be real careful out there. Believe it or not, we've done a really good job, and we got less than 2 minutes left.
Oh my goodness!
So,
couple things I wanted to tell you.
Yes, please go for it.
One was you started talking about visiting all the local attractions.
Yes.
And there is a program called Museums for All. Have you heard of it?
Obviously not, because I don't hear anything on all this stuff. Go ahead,
Museums for All. If you get SNAP benefits, you can present that at the Comedy Center and get a discount to get in. And I think it's free to get into the Audubon or the Roger Tory Peterson Institute with your SNAP card.
Nice.
So it's a program called Museums for All. Look it up. It'll tell you the local, but those three are on the list.
Nobody tells me anything.
Yeah,
that's why I had you on here. Okay.
We want our older adults to enjoy it, and that's a barrier is the cost of entry. So these are some free programs to get in there. People always ask in the summer about Senior Farmer Market coupons. And we are going to be distributing them in July.
Okay.
So I was asking, probably at the farmer's market, we have people who have signed up for it, but you can go to some of the farmer markets.
I'm sure Westfield.
Wednesday, July 17th at the Dunkirk Farmers Market.
Okay.
Thursday, the 18th in Lakewood, Forestville, and Mayville.
Okay.
Saturday, the 20th in Fredonia, Jamestown, and Westfield.
There we go.
Now, the farmer market coupons are a $25 voucher for fruits and vegetables.
Beautiful.
Some of them, the farmers markets will even double them up.
Wow.
So go in, but it is an income eligibility for a household of one. You have to be under $2,322 a month. For a household of 2, under $3,152.
All right, one more time, the New York Connects phone number.
716-753-4582.
See, that's our third time.
Yeah.
All right, folks, I hope you learned a lot. I did. I didn't. Museums for all. First I heard that. Anyways, I hope that was interesting. Please share this video with family and friends if you have someone that needs these services. Marianne, thanks as always. Maybe we'll get you out here one more time before November. What do you say? Bring Bridget. How's that?
Okay.
Okay. Take care, everybody. And happy 4th of July. I think, yep, it'll happen before our next show. Be safe, and especially with fireworks and all that good stuff. Stay dry today. See you next time. Bye-bye.